This is a 1923 onwards Royal 10 typewriter. The reason you can tell that is because from the 1923 onwards they used single pane glass rather than two windows. This is another nice illustration of it which I found online, and I'm sure people will appreciate that. In this video I'm going to show you how to correctly install the ribbon, the ink ribbon, and because there's very few close-up images of these and the videos can be a bit too long for my liking. It took me a few tries to get the ink ribbon on this. At first I thought I did it right, but for whatever reason it was bunching up on the ribbon whenever I was typing. Originally I thought you were just supposed to go through these two hooks, but no, it's supposed to go from the back and then under and over. Very straightforward. You want to go over the back and under each loop on the left and the right sides at the same time, or one at a time, it's up to you. And then once they're both in the loops, press down, lift up, and that is how it should be. And there you go. But most importantly, don't forget to put the ribbon through the spool guidance loops here. When it comes to putting the ink ribbon on the spools, you've got these two spikes in the middle of the spool which you can pierce the ribbon on and put them through. There's also this slight flap here that you can stick the excess ribbon onto. You might need eyelets if you've got a portable style typewriter. The eyelets usually trigger a sort of mechanism here, which also doubles as the ribbon guidance prongs, I suppose. Now you'll notice there's a kind of tab spring on the spool themselves. That is pressed when the ribbon is on the spool, and that kind of tells it whether or not to go left or right, etc., and activates a mechanism here. I think that's the way it works, at least. So now that I've corrected my mistake, I've got the spool facing the right way up with the sprung tab facing down, black on top, red on bottom. And you want to guide the ribbon through this tab here. Eventually it should fit. As usual, expect to get covered in ink, as is the way with old typewriters. There you go. And then it's just a case of putting it on the spindle, putting it through the guidance prongs, making sure that that ribbon hasn't jumped off. There you go. Close the cage and wind. Do not wind the spools when the caps lock is on, probably because the ink ribbon teeth forks will be too high. And now to fix my mistake with the other one. Same again, up with the cage, lift out the spool, double check your work, and as I've noticed, I did not put it behind the tab as I should have. So yeah, let's do that again. Have it the right way up, not the wrong way. Sprung tab facing down, pierce the ribbon. In this case, on both sides. You might find it easier to pierce it on both sides using a flat-headed screwdriver, just to tear the ribbon slightly. Yep. And then once both sides are on, depending on the amount of prongs you have, don't forget to put it underneath this tab. And once that's in there, the spool back in the typewriter. Make sure it hasn't jumped out of the tabs while you're at it. Close the cage, put it so once the spool's in, cage is closed, ribbon between the guidance prongs, press the appropriate left or right selector, press the release mechanism to get it freewheeling, and get winding until you're happy that there's enough on that ribbon spool. And that is how you fix a ribbon onto a 1923 Royal No. 10 typewriter. And I found out technically this is the same one used by Taylor Swift, and if you've done everything right, this is how your ribbon should look, with a ribbon on the back and then back through underneath both of these loops, top and bottom, and then it should run smoothly.